Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be doing a viewer request topic and taking a look at will you and your person reconcile? So there are three groups to choose from. Group one is this candle quartz. Group two is the agate. And group three is this pink tourmaline. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, group one. You chose the candle quartz. So I'm going to start off by looking at the current energies between you and this person, what's currently going on in the connection for group one. Give us some clues about who this person is to you. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And we have the Eight of Wands, fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Five of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Four of Pentacles, so more earth energy. Four of Cups, so more water energy. Two of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And the World, which for me as a reader is fixed energy, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. So this definitely seems to be somebody that you have moved away from, somebody who the communication is blocked off or very restricted at this time. If you are communicating, it might consist of a lot of arguments, disagreements, misunderstandings. It's pretty difficult to really convey your point to this person or to see things from their perspective. There's a distinct feeling of loss here. Loss of the opportunities of what could have been emotional fulfillment with this person, and it feels like it's felt on both sides. The wounding that may have occurred, almost a feeling of betrayal that is coming up here, is something which could make the both of you kind of guarded when dealing with one another, very closed off with this Four of Pentacles here, very closed off to maybe giving this another chance. This person at this point could be very closed off to that. You could be a little bit hesitant as far as really expecting change to happen, kind of a sense of hopelessness, bordering on hopelessness, wishing for a new opportunity with this Four of Cups here, but really looking at the reality of what has taken place so far, and maybe a lack of fulfillment, a lack of kind of moving beyond some difficult circumstances between the both of you. It looks like you may have put a lot of effort to kind of moving beyond this, sort of closing out this cycle as well with the World here, trying to look to new horizons for love, trying to move beyond the expectation that things would smooth out between you and this person. And it seems that this has been a very difficult and arduous journey with this Five of Pentacles here to do that. That as much as you may have tried, that this person still occupies a space within your heart, a space within your mind. There could be other things in your physical reality that, you know, remind you of this person. You could have children in common with them, or a community in common with them. You could work with them. Something, even, you know, living in the same kind of town or city as this person, and just in your environment there are reminders of the times that you shared with them. It's very hard to kind of put this person into that space of out of sight, out of mind, because of, again, these constant reminders that come up that are making the sense of loss very acute. There is a desire for communication, but again, if anything's coming in, it seems that it's blocked off right now. So they could have blocked you, you could have blocked them, or it could just be very strained communication. Again, if you have children with this person, maybe just communicating kind of at the bare minimum, just in the interest of the children or with things pertaining to that. But in terms of working on the relationship in general, or kind of moving past some difficulties or whatever, put you into a period of separation or no contact, there's very little that's being accomplished currently and in the recent past to kind of move beyond that. So I'm going to get a few oracle cards to get a little more clarification about this for you. Group 1, the current energy with this person. Okay, so we have Father Sky. So this can definitely speak to really praying for guidance about what to do in this situation. That this is something where, you know, you may have really been reaching out to source, to God, Goddess, your angels, your spirit guides, whatever it is you resonate with, for, you know, some signs about what to do, some hope, to really help you to find some relief from this situation, or find a way forward, find a way to move beyond kind of the difficulties or the closed off communication that you are currently experiencing with this person. And we also have indecisive. So this can indicate that maybe you're getting mixed signals from this person, even energetically speaking, as far as if a reconciliation is possible, if they're interested in working things out, maybe if you have some contact with them, some communication with them. They're giving you a lot of mixed signs as far as their intentions, their feelings, even as you are maybe praying for some guidance. The signs that are coming in for you, it's very unclear. There's a lot of kind of contrasting information that's coming in as far as that this person is the one for you, and that this is worth holding out hope for and, you know, working toward. And then you're getting some other kind of information and nudges that it's best to just kind of move on from this circumstance. So you could be at a place also with this Two of Swords of just really at this stalemate, just not really certain within your mind what you want going forward with them. There is this desire, this hope for kind of a renewal of the relationship, but then in terms of the practicality of it, or maybe what you're seeing in the material world, then, you know, there's also a part of you which is really feeling this need to kind of close out this cycle, close out this pattern, end this even desire for hope with this person, this urge within you to maybe move forward in another direction and see what else is out there for you in love. So I'm going to get a couple more oracle cards here for group 1. What's currently the energy of this person, with this connection? What's going on there? Okay, so we have silenced. So again, this is that energy of maybe blocked off communication. If there is communication, again, not speaking what is really on each other's minds and within your hearts, just a very limited communication, very superficial contact, you know, just kind of very curt interactions with each other where, you know, it's really down to the basics. It's almost even like small talk, chit chat, or you know, really not digging into the heart of the matter of what occurred between you in the past. So this can lead to this indecisiveness here based on, you know, what this person is presenting to you. You're kind of at this point of being out in the cold, being kind of left in the dark about their intentions with this closed off energy of the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. They're not showing you what's in their heart. They're not telling you what's on their mind. You're really being left to guess about their intentions moving forward in this connection. Okay, and we have repelled. So this period of no contact, or even just very kind of strained or limited communication, it is again pushing you in a direction to maybe surrender this connection, to move elsewhere. And you could be at a point of really just praying, really just feeling almost at this brink of desperation, needing answers, needing some kind of clarity about if this is worth fighting for. And we also have lust. So this is indicating that there is still this strong bond, this strong attraction between the both of you. This kind of, with this, coupled with this repelled card, so this attraction and this repulsion, this again talks about this indecisiveness, where there's a desire within you, and I feel even energetically a desire within this person to kind of move beyond these difficulties, to just open up and really talk about what might have come between you both in the past, so that you can kind of move on to calmer waters. So there's this energetic kind of pull in toward each other, in toward this vulnerability, this opening up, and then at the same time, fears or even the ego might be getting in the way. That's really making it hard to kind of let go of some hurt feelings, some disappointments, feelings of mistrust, of being guarded, maybe just because of love in general, some past heartbreaks, or even the circumstances of what happened with this person in the past. So definitely a strong kind of like a push-pull energy here, a back and forth. And it feels definitely coupled with this World card that this is a cycle, that you're going round and round in your head, and this person also similarly going round and round in their head, kind of vacillating between the head and the heart here, as far as this kind of pull and this urge to work things out, to kind of smooth things out, to really open up and maybe give this relationship another chance, and then also kind of this inclination to move in another direction in general, to just close this out, to kind of relinquish hope, kind of leave this in the past and move forward to see what other types of emotional fulfillment is possible, maybe with another partner, or even just in a period of kind of solitude and reflection. So now I'm going to take a look at if reconciliation is on the horizon. Is this possible with this person for group 1? Okay, so we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. The Emperor, which is Aries. The Six of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Tower, Aries energy. The Nine of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Four of Pentacles, so earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And the Moon, which is Pisces and Cancer. So this definitely looks, it's interesting that the Four of Pentacles is showing up both in the current energy and the possibility for reconciliation. And it does look like a breakthrough in that is possible. That after a period of maybe making the decision to kind of let this go, to walk away, or as time goes on and you both kind of further entrench yourself into the energy of not really speaking, not really clearing the air, not really speaking what's on each other's minds and with each other, within each other's hearts, that something happens here, some kind of an epiphany, an awakening, an awareness. With the Tower here, something comes to light, maybe even through the Nine of Swords, something that comes through in the dream time, in the dream state, perhaps even an answer to some of these prayers that have been happening, where this realization of what was lost, the value and importance of that becomes very clear, it becomes very apparent. To me, with this Four of Pentacles and this Moon card here, this really speaks to, this illumination, the illumination of what is being held within the heart, really definitely a period of revelation for that, both for this person, seeing and understanding and realizing how much they value you, how much they value this connection. The truth of their heart becomes clear, where they may have obscured that, or it may have been something that they were very fearful about. The paradigm of that fear sort of shifts, and the fear redirects to the thought of losing you, the thought of having sabotaged this connection, or the realization that maybe some stubbornness on their part with the Emperor, maybe operating from a place of pride and ego, also with the Emperor, that it has really led to, with the Tower, kind of this breakdown, this destruction of kind of the balance between the both of you with this Temperance card. And so it appears that there is this desire to kind of move back in the direction of reciprocity, of giving more emotionally into this connection than might have been given in the past, or up to this point, with the angel there pouring the water between these two cups. And that speaks to, this emotional openness, this emotional vulnerability, this deep exchange. And it's something also with this Emperor that, serves to kind of restart or reignite the connection. This is something that this person may have really feared being vulnerable, feared really, speaking what's on their mind. They may have been somebody who, in times of conflict, really sought to avoid conflict as opposed to kind of working things through. And some kind of realization happens for them, where they are recognizing how they've been operating from this space of really self-sabotage. And so there is this desire to kind of course correct, to, with the Six of Wands here, kind of move more in a positive direction, claim a victory for themselves by recognizing the strength and power that is available for them through being emotionally vulnerable, where they may have viewed that as kind of a weakness before. Something shifts within them, and they are recognizing that this is in their emotions, and this love that they have, and the desire to be open and honest about their feelings is in fact an untapped well of strength within them. And so this really indicates here that in the future of this connection, through this realization, which it seems might happen after some kind of choice is made to move in another direction, or after more of a period of silence, of no contact, as a lot's happening just beneath the surface, kind of boiling within this person, with this Four of Pentacles appearing both times, that although they're closed off, there is, there's something happening in that heart space. This connection, what has occurred, it's weighing heavily on their mind, it's weighing heavily in their heart. There are reminders in the material world, even through signs perhaps that are coming in, or again with this Nine of Pentacles or Nine of Swords, something that comes through in the dream space, some kind of epiphany, an awakening, and awareness that kind of sparks this aha moment for this person, and kind of topples their worldview, their view on love, their view on the situation, or the approach that they have been taking up to this point. And it really creates this desire for solid and material change. It seems that this, this energy of reconciliation, it feels here just from these cards, may come quite suddenly. It may come, again with this Moon, after kind of a cycle, maybe going round and round, that ties back in with that World card that we saw here earlier, of just kind of this cycle of avoidance. Maybe some other kind of difficulties that occur in this person's life, and they are able to then recognize a pattern within themselves of kind of running from confrontation, kind of fleeing from that. When they're triggered, this could be somebody that really just kind of pulls within, kind of goes within their shell, and isn't able to really kind of problem solve and work through things. And something is made clear to them, how, the dissatisfaction that they may be feeling, this sense of kind of anxiety and loss that they may be sitting with, that they have been playing a very active role in that, in their life, in a variety of ways, through being emotionally reserved, through kind of withholding their emotions, as opposed to really being open and honest with themselves and others about their feelings. So I'm going to get a few oracle cards to get some clarification about this for you. Group 1. Okay, and we have focus. So this is really speaking to something being brought again to this person's attention. They are becoming acutely aware of the role that they may have played in kind of this dissatisfaction that is the energy of the connection currently, dissatisfaction within their life, a feeling of maybe subsequent losses of, even friendships that have eroded, or, difficulties in love. They're recognizing a pattern within themselves of when difficult times come, or kind of these crossroads, these obstacle periods, and this person has this tendency to just kind of depart from the situation, pull away from the situation, as opposed to really give in. It's coming into focus for them. They're gaining some clarity here as far as the role that they have played. And then also with that clarity is the ability to see a path forward, to navigate their way, where they may have really been operating in the dark previously, very kind of unaware or unwilling to see these things about themselves. The path becomes clear, the path forward toward different experiences, better experiences. And that path, it first starts with this emotional vulnerability. It starts with recognizing, acknowledging the emotions within themselves, and being willing to express those to others, to put that out there, as opposed to really just holding that within and stuffing it down. And we also have body care. So this, to me, is really speaking about the emotional body. That something is, this person could be then going through this period of kind of intense purging, an intense sort of reckoning with themselves about kind of the ways in which they may have self-sabotaged in the past. They're starting to, prioritize the health of that emotional body, and part of that health is through acknowledging their feelings, expressing their feelings in a constructive and healthy manner, as opposed to really just holding things in. And this is also then speaking in terms of reconciliation about kind of this need, this understanding that this person has, that the emotional health of this relationship, it is largely dependent on them being open emotionally speaking, giving into this. It's dependent on this energy of reciprocity, that the care and nurturing of this connection and other connections in their life, it's a matter of give and take. And they may be recognizing how they have kind of shreked off that responsibility just onto one party, how they have not been really participating in that, but have been kind of withholding from that, withdrawn from that process. And so this really speaks to kind of the shift in the direction of really wanting to work on things, to nurture things, to work toward the energy of repair for the circumstances you both find yourselves in. So I'm going to get a little more clarification for you about this group 1. You reconcile with this person. Okay, and we have co-create. So this again speaks in tandem with that body care, and kind of this desire to kind of work on things, nurture things, rebuild things, repair things. This person is shifting into this energy of reciprocity, this co-create, understanding that they can play an active role in the circumstances that they find themselves in. And also with this card being a number 4 and that being a number of stability, this person, it feels, is really they have this shift, this awakening, this awareness of kind of their role as well in the stability in their life, that they are a co-creator of both their misery and their happiness. And so this indicates, a kind of a shift, this wisdom with this owl here, and then with this cheetah, this very rapid kind of awareness, this wisdom that just kind of pops, almost like this egg kind of cracks out of nowhere, comes up from the depths within themselves, and almost this way forward then is clear. They're recognizing how their actions may have really isolated them, being kind of closed off and emotionally unavailable, unwilling to be vulnerable in connections, and how that has really ultimately served as a disservice to them. It has been, again, very isolating. And then they come to this awareness of what is possible, that steps, careful steps, delicate steps, very important steps, that this is, it's a delicate process even. It can be something that's a little bit scary, kind of walking this tightrope, delving into the area of emotions, being emotionally vulnerable in a way that, they're not used to, that it's something where, they're understanding the importance of that, the steps that need to be taken in that direction. And it's something where, kind of even baby steps this person may kind of start out. It could be a slow process with that gradual unfolding, that gradual opening, and that gradual kind of working toward a repair of this connection, and a repair of their circumstances in general. And we also have Treasure Island. So this again, with this all this water here, this speaks about the emotional body, and with this treasure chest kind of bursting open, and all this kind of glitter and hearts coming out of it. This really speaks to this opening up about the emotions. So this can talk about communication, heartfelt communication, heart-to-heart conversations, really speaking the truth or expressing these feelings. Some of these might be some difficult feelings that they could have been holding in or repressing for a very long time. Trends and patterns within themselves that they may have just kind of kept very cloistered, very sequestered within themselves. But it's almost filled to capacity, this sort of pain and discomfort that they've been holding within, and they kind of get to this point where that needs to be unleashed. It needs to just be brought out. It needs to be expressed. So this is a very positive sign as far as reconciliation, moving toward the calmer waters. Stepping into those emotional waters, into the emotional aspects of this connection, to really discuss the things that need to be said, the unspoken words, so that the both of you can again kind of work together toward moving toward a more hopeful and peaceful and calm and enriching and nourishing future together. So I'm going to get a few messages from this person's higher self. Group 1, what do they want to say to you? Okay, and they say within a few weeks, so you may be imminently hearing from this person. This can also indicate this epiphany, this awareness that we saw here, that this could be occurring for this person within the next few weeks. I'm getting here with this moon card as well. We do have a full moon coming up on May 16th, so that could be pretty, and this is a timeless video, so whenever you're watching it, that can definitely apply, but I'm feeling the energies of the full moon might provide some illumination. So whatever the next closest full moon is for you whenever you're watching this video, that could be very significant to when this kind of epiphany, this awareness illumination happens for this person, that really shakes them awake. It makes them aware of the ways in which they may have been self-sabotaging in the past, and kind of making them aware of sort of these first steps, moving into that energy of creating a plan of action forward, that may, be kind of a gradual process of unfoldment, but something shifts or kind of cracks open within the energy of the connection. And for others of you, they may already be in this process, kind of behind the scenes of really opening up, becoming emotionally vulnerable. They could have really had this awakening, this awareness within themselves already. And so within a few weeks, you may be seeing the evidence of that, some kind of smoother communication, or maybe hearing from this person for the first time in a while. And we also have, you are changing your energy, so the world around you is shifting too. And this really speaks to that epiphany, that awareness that this person is having of the ways in which they may have self-sabotaged in the past, how, their emotional reservation, their closed off heart chakra has really been of a disservice to them, that it may have really stemmed from this desire to self-protect, to guard, to kind of keep themselves kind of segregated from the potential of pain. But as we saw here on this co-create card, and the cheetah up on the pillar, that they're realizing that it has isolated them from having these kind of deeply emotionally fulfilling relationships with others, romantic, platonic, even connections with family. And it's something where this mindset, this shift, this awareness, this epiphany is coming in for them. And this really indicates and kind of confirms the shift within this person, kind of mentally, sort of emotionally, spiritually, psychically first, that then ripples out into the experiences they have in the outside world. So this is definitely, as most changes are, this is something which starts from the inside. It starts with that heart chakra, almost like a heart chakra activation, this awareness, and the ways in which they have co-created the circumstances that they find themselves in a large part. And with that, they also have the power to change the experiences that they're they're having, change their level of fulfillment. Anything they are not satisfied with, there is the ability to kind of course correct and move in a different direction by showing up differently than they have in the past. And we also have 5D manifestation. You are the alchemist magician. So again, confirmation of, this awareness this person is having, how their mindset, the way they have been showing up in relationships, being closed off, being emotionally unavailable, withholding emotions, withdrawing their emotions, kind of running from conflict in the past, has really created this sense of isolation for them, a sense of unfulfillment, or just kind of a lack of deep connection. And there's this awareness within them that is blossoming, that is bursting forth, that they do have this ability to co-create with the universe the experiences that they would like. And it all starts with their mindset. With the 5D, it starts with, really accessing and tapping into what it is that they want for themselves, what, being very honest, what feels good, what does not feel good about their experiences at this point or in the past, and then opening themselves up to, change in the ways that will be necessary in order to magnetize in different experiences for themselves in the future. And we also have, just as birds change direction, so too is your path unfolding in divine alignment. So that ties in with what was coming up with this moon card here, and this path that is being illuminated for this person, a path forward beyond some repeating cycles in their life, patterns of kind of disappointment, isolation, and loss. And this is also talking about this revelation about the cycle that you both may find yourself in, of this no contact, even this runner chaser kind of energy. That cycle that they've been participating in is becoming apparent to them, and this really confirms that energy of change. So if you're in kind of a no contact, things are very strained, very closed off, very restricted at this point, this definitely speaks to kind of an opening of that. Something different than what you have been experiencing up to this point with this person. And with that, that reference to an unfolding, that to me speaks again with this opening of the heart space, this opening of the communication, and not just on a superficial level, but some deep and heartfelt communication, really discussing in a vulnerable way their thoughts and feelings that they may have kept restrained from you in the past, addressing some issues, some wedges or blocks, some things that might have occurred between you in the past that up to this point they've really just avoided. They just kind of shut themselves down and really wouldn't seek to work through that. But this is speaking to a shift in that, a desire to change and to do something different, to work toward different results than what it is they're currently experiencing. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you, Group 1, about this connection. And we have compassion, Archangel Zadkiel. Soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So this is, again, with this reference to softening your heart, this can definitely speak to this heart chakra activation that this person is having. This can be a confirmation of some heartfelt communication that could be coming in, or just kind of a cracking open of some very sort of stiff and restricted energy between you and this person, that, any kind of stalemate that you may have been in. This is really speaking to kind of the tension of that really easing up. This is speaking to, this person really coming to you from a deeply emotionally vulnerable space as well. And as we saw with that tightrope on the co-create card, this could definitely be a tenuous sort of journey for them. This feels very much outside of their comfort zone. This could really be an experiment for them in vulnerability. So they could be a little shaky at first with what they say. It might come out a little rough around the edges. They may have a hard time really sticking with that, kind of stepping out into that unknown beyond their comfort zone, in terms of being very open and honest. So it's something where you're guided to be gentle with them through that process, allow them the space to really open up and to get comfortable with that new way of being, understanding that it might be a little tipsy at times for them. They might not, they may struggle with really remaining open vulnerably open. It could be something where, it triggers them, just kind of the newness of that. So as this reconciliation energy is kind of coming towards you and is permeating into this connection, it could be something where even energetically you're feeling this person kind of opening up, giving more to the connection, only to kind of retract and kind of shut themselves off very abruptly. And so it could be kind of confusing. All of this is part of that process of, gradually this person becoming more and more vulnerable, becoming comfortable with that vulnerability, trusting that that this is a path to different results, and really kind of building that trust. Kind of the process of what they are seeing, the abundance that comes in, the sense of satisfaction of being heard, of being understood, that over time that this will kind of assure them that the open and vulnerable path is the best path for them, as they pull back and close off and sort of fall back into the old patterns. It's going to become more and more uncomfortable for them. They're going to become acutely aware of kind of the distinction between that, between the old way of being and this new opportunity that's available to them. And so it could be, this doesn't really feel like an energy of somebody who just rushes back in, says everything, and is just, ready to move forward. This feels like somebody who it's just kind of, they're gradually just giving a little more and giving a little more and giving a little more. Not in terms of breadcrumbing, but just it's almost like this gradual opening. And then it will get to a point where, they're able to kind of burst forth in a larger way, kind of taking baby steps and then exponential leaps forward, once they sort of gain their footing, gain their comfort, and really become accustomed to this new way of showing up in their lives and in this connection in general. So I'm going to get a romance angel for you now, group 1. Okay, and we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this is some beautiful advice here for you, group 1, to kind of close this reading out with. And, this is really emphasizing that while this person is in their process of kind of metamorphosis, of unfolding, of stepping into a new way of being, it's very important that you continue to nurture yourself. You continue to, set very loving boundaries with this person. Just because they are moving into this energy of kind of working their way into a new way of being, you can definitely be a teacher for them in that capacity by, expressing what it is that you need, what it is that you want, allowing this person the opportunity to really, to give that, to step up and become that. But if you feel that your boundaries are really being exceeded, or it's something where your needs are not being met, you're definitely advised to advocate for yourself, to speak up for yourself. Any ways that this person and their energy could be mirroring to you, some ways in which you've been holding your emotions within, you've been holding your needs within, not really expressing what's in your heart or within your mind. This person may have been operating out of fear, and you as well could have been operating from an energy of fear, maybe a fear of rejection, a fear of loss. And so just kind of going through the motions, or saying or doing what you felt was expected of you, to put somebody else's kind of comfort and happiness as a priority above your own. So you're really guided to recognize perhaps any tendencies of that nature within you, and to course correct if anything comes up. That while this is very new for this person, this could also be very new for you as well, in terms of, this is a journey for the both of you. You're both stepping out into some new comfort zones. And just because this person is kind of unfolding to a new layer of them, this doesn't mean that their needs should take priority over your needs. First and foremost, definitely make sure that, you're comfortable with the pace that things are happening, that you feel fulfilled, you feel a sense of hopefulness and abundance over the interactions that you're having. And if it's something where it becomes very uncomfortable, then the self-loving thing might be for you to pull back while this person goes through more of a process of healing, or, even as they are kind of working on this process of vulnerability with some other relationships in their life. Understanding that, again, this feels very gradual, a gradual process of unfolding, a gradual process of reconciliation. And so doing what is necessary for you to keep your vibration high, to keep assuring yourself of your worthiness of love, and, you know, that not really basing that on whatever actions this person chooses to take or chooses not to take and the pace at which that is happening. You're definitely very worthy and deserving of a rich and reciprocal love, just as you are, and definitely setting the intentions to experience that and following that up with loving boundaries. If you feel that those needs are not being met or not being honored in a way that is comfortable and validating for you. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have N, J, D, L, Y, X, C, A, E, and U. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Agate. So I'm going to start by looking into the current energies between you and this person, get some clues about who they are to you as well. Group 2. Okay, so we have the Sun, which is Leo energy, Judgment, which is Scorpio, Strength, so more Leo energy, Knight of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, the Devil, which is Capricorn, Ace of Swords, so more air energy, and the Queen of Wands, fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So this looks like somebody that you have a lot of attraction to, a lot of passion for. This could be somebody where you experienced a really intense relationship in the past, both physically intense and also emotionally intense. This kind of feels like the energy of loving hard and fighting hard. So there could have been a lot of passion, a lot of fights, a lot of breaking up and making up. Having some difficulty, some struggle with really seeing eye to eye with people on these, with this person on things, with this Strength card here. A lot of really power dynamics that were shifting, were very fluid within this connection, kind of struggles for power, struggles to be heard, to be seen, to be understood. Again, a lot of harsh words spoken, a lot of fights, a lot of disagreements, most likely. With the Sun card here, a lot of joyous times, and also with this Judgment card, times that then were very kind of desolate and dim, and kind of endings and beginnings within this connection. So a lot of cycles you may have gone through with this person. In terms of resurrecting the connection, this definitely feels like some energy of kind of runner chaser, where you'd come together with this person in the times where they were really good, they were really intense, things were going really well, and then something would happen, some kind of a misunderstanding, a disagreement, or even just your personalities would start to clash. You could both be very kind of direct people, very headstrong people, very confident, very self-assured people, and so it might have been a struggle to really have some equal give and take. Again, this energy of kind of this power dynamic of wanting to really be in charge of the relationship, really wanting to be the one to have control. You both could really have some issues with surrender and with kind of vulnerability, wanting to be, being very assertive people, very dominant people, very alpha people, personalities that definitely could have, clashed at times. So I'm feeling here almost with all this fire energy and then air energy, it's almost like you both were able to really fan both the flames of kind of passion within each other, and also fan the flames of really anger and agitation, very much triggering, very attracted to one another, a lot of chemistry here, but then also certain aspects of each other, maybe your communication style, some of your ideas, your ways of really discussing things, that it could have been very triggering to one another. Again, ending to a lot of leading to a lot of endings and then beginnings within this connection, kind of moving toward one another, only to kind of say that it's over, it's done, it's over with, and then to come back around to one another. This magnetism with the Devil here and the Queen of Wands, this chemistry, this attraction, and with the Ace of Swords here, just being on each other's mind, thinking back to those good times that you shared, and that just really being a draw, a pull toward one another, to almost not really work out any of the issues of the past, but to try and restart things almost from this level of on a physical relationship, this chemistry and this compatibility that you both had with each other. And while you were focusing on that, things may have, worked very well with you. It may have operated very smoothly, but then inevitably at some point in time, this kind of, with the Strength card, this power struggle would come into play, and, harsh words, blunt truths, or kind of insensitivity might have been a theme here that really led to, cutting away from each other, kind of ending things, maybe ending things on a sour note, feeling that it's over, it's dead, it's over with, but then some kind of a wake-up call or like a reminder would happen, and you would find yourself drawn back together, kind of round and round in this same kind of cycle and circle. With the Child here on the Sun card, this could be somebody that you have children with, or even this can really speak to maybe a little bit of immaturity in terms of the things that were said, maybe in these kind of fights or disagreements, saying things that were just kind of hurtful and cruel, and then sort of going off and sort of stewing about this, kind of ruminating on these things, and then, again, this attraction and this chemistry kind of causing you to come back together to sort of smooth over the bruised ego and the bruised feelings, with kind of more of this aspect of physically making up with each other, or, just really enjoying trying to just focus on the good times that you have, the things that are working, without really doing anything up to this point to repair some of that core damage between you, or to really work on coming up with some better communication styles, a little more patience. This almost feels like this intense, almost impulsive or impatient energy here as well. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to get a little clarification about this for you, group 2. For the current energies of this connection, or who this person is to you. Okay, so we have growth, and to me this is talking about like the Ace of Wands here is what that image is bringing to mind. So a lot of passion here, a lot of chemistry here. It's this attraction that you have for each other that really keeps this connection going. It's what brings you both back together time and again. But it feels almost that the growth of the connection beyond this sort of cycle of breaking up and making up, it's somewhat limited, it's somewhat stifled. There's not been a lot of evolution beyond that. It's, again, just kind of this cycling round and round, and the pressure is just kind of building within both of you that something needs to change, that this is not sustainable in the long term, that as much as you're both very drawn to one another, you're magnetized to one another. The fights or the disagreements or the way in which you go into the separation, into the no contact, it's very painful, it's very wounding, it's very triggering. Your inner child in both of you could definitely be very triggered by one another. And this triggering is definitely, it's indicating that this is an opportunity for growth. This could definitely be a twin flame situation here where, you're so magnetized to this person, at the same time so triggered by this person. It's almost like this very similar way of being, these very similar kind of archetypal personality qualities that you both are holding a mirror up for each other, with the kind of the soul level intention of instigating growth and transcendence beyond this way of operating, beyond this way of being. I'm noticing here that there's a lack of almost like cups, so energy, or I'm sorry, emotional energy in here. And it's something where it feels like that's the growth that's really, it's really necessary here, is to kind of get into that emotional body, to kind of get out of, this very kind of tangible and materially based energy of like attraction and chemistry, and then, you know, these thoughts and these mindsets, and there's this almost this need to kind of invest more time and attention into the emotional body, into really taking into consideration one another's feelings, which I feel is not it's not something that is really part of this relationship. This is very carnal energy here. It's not that you're insensitive people or that you are incapable of understanding, you know, emotions or having empathy, but just in terms of your energetic interaction with one another through this dynamic, it is definitely something which, you know, there's a lot of fire here. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of potential for growth. This bond that you have between the both of you, if harnessed and directed, into, say, emotional growth or even the evolution of your material circumstances, empowered by the energy of the bond between you. There is a lot of potential here to really elevate you to the next level of compassion, the next level of self-awareness. This connection serves to really bring up some inner child wounds for healing, so that emotions can be purged, can be transcended, so that you know, that aspect, that almost neglected aspect of self within the both of you can really get that attention, get that healing. This also feels like a connection where either together in union or, you know, separate but still energetically bonded, that this is almost like fuel. This energy is almost fuel to really creating some abundance, a very pleasing and satisfying life for yourselves and for one another in the material realm. But at this point in time, you both seem very almost kind of stuck in this cycle of just kind of this carnal attraction and these very, you know, kind of intense and deeply rooted, almost like the shadowy aspects of the self, with the devil card here, and, you know, both this desire and fear. All of that is kind of written in the current energy of the connection between the both of you. Okay, and we also have frustration, so that really ties in with, you know, the overwhelming feeling that you could both be having about this circumstance currently. And again, this cycle that you're kind of stuck in, this sort of like, you know, you break up and you make up. You're just like you're tied together, your energies are tied together. It could be something that's very frustrating for both of you, why you are not able in these periods of separation to move on, why you keep coming back together, why you keep kind of circling around, expecting different results, but approaching this with the same kind of action, and then being very frustrated that the same results yield themselves because there has been no kind of change in the approach or change in the behavior. So let me get some more for you, group 2. All right, and we have secondary. So this can really speak to, again, this degree of insensitivity, or almost this kind of the blunt things that are said, the hurtful things that are said. You both can really be feeling that your position is not being honored in this connection. Your feelings are not being honored. Your opinions are not being honored. Definitely a power struggle here, of wanting to be primary, wanting to be in charge, not having a difficulty in really working equally toward harmony within this connection, but a feeling of really needing to be right, needing to prove a point. Very much an energy of needing to have things your way, kind of control issues on both of your part, in terms of this dynamic, in this connection. And this can also be something which sort of bleeds out into how you approach other situations in general. A very confident person who is, you know, very intelligent, very, very self-assured, and kind of has some difficulty maybe allowing others the opportunity to co-create, or has a hard time really seeing things from other people's perspective, has a hard time compromising. And we also have walking away. So this can again speak to this sort of this frustration of not being able to extricate yourself from this connection, not being able to move beyond the kind of round and round that you are experiencing with this person, the intensity of kind of the breakup and the makeup. And we also have haunted. So this can tie in with, the things that are said maybe during fights and arguments, and, that this is something which it hurts deep down inside. It lingers. A lot of regret here, both for the things that are said by both of you during, these very heated periods, and then the wounding that has occurred from what has been said or what has been demonstrated to you. And I feel this is very mutual on both of your parts, that, you're very, it's very disturbing to both of you. It's disturbing to, your peace of mind. It's disturbing to your soul because, despite all of this intensity, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of passion here. And so it's something that could be very perplexing to both of you, why you can't seem to move beyond this. You kind of go into these periods of separation, into reflection, and just this sense of, being over it, being done with it, but then something really pulls you back together. There's still something to be learned, or some growth which needs to take place through this connection. And you both find yourself in this state of not really being able to make any kind of forward progress, any kind of an elevation of the circumstances and experiences between the both of you, very much occupying this very shadowy space, but this desire to kind of move into the light, into more of that energy of the sun, that good time, that core of potential that exists, that keeps this bond alive. It keeps this flame alive despite what is happening. It's what draws you both back together, but you just can't seem to take corrective steps or measures at this point in time, or up to this point in time, to break out of that cycle of intensity, both in terms of the connectivity, the physical experiences, the joys that you have, but then also the intensity of the triggering and the frustration and kind of the outbursts or the fights that you have that kind of lead to then this separation period, kind of round and round, over and over again. So I'm going to take a look now and see what's the potential for reconciliation with this person, group 2. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Magician, which is Gemini. 6 of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Page of Wands, so more fire energy. Queen of Cups, which is water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. 5 of Swords, so more air energy. And the 3 of Swords, so more air energy. So this is really speaking to me about a change in your communication style that is definitely possible here. There's the potential for that. There's the potential for growth and for really having some more positive experiences with this person than you have previously. With this Page of Wands, this definitely speaks to, good news on the horizon. So it seems that something is really shifting, is really kind of transforming within this person and within you, where you're starting to really gather with this Magician some tools to create some different experiences for yourself. With this, back here on this haunted card, and this figure kind of looking up to these steps and kind of operating from the shadow and sort of aspiring to the light, coupled with this growth card, there is this desire to experience something different in this connection. But up to this point, really being at a loss for what to do, what would be necessary to create change, kind of coming back around with the same approach, utilizing the same tools, the same kind of methods or tactics or sort of approaches with one another, and being kind of disappointed, frustrated that you can't make any progress, any headway. But this is speaking here with this magician, again, some other tools that are being acquired, maybe some awareness that is happening with this Queen of Cups, that during this particular period of separation, something is really, it's transmuting, it's transforming, where you're both starting to address some deep emotional wounds within yourself that may have cause this this kind of need to be right all the time, this need to not compromise, to really have things your way. And it stems from a feeling of loss, a fear of defeat with this Five of Swords, perhaps stemming even from some heartbreaks of the past with the Three of Swords, that there's a need to really control the situation, or to really be the one kind of directing where the connection leads to, because there's been this perception that to maintain that level of control kind of distances you from being sort of taken for a ride by somebody, emotionally speaking. And so this could have been something where some deception could have taken place in other romances of the past that caused this need to really hold on tight, hold on to control, to be very unyielding, almost this fear of losing oneself in a relationship, or compromising too much at the expense of having one's needs met or understood. And this could have definitely then gone off into a distorted area where it's almost, then there is, it just creates this energy of friction as opposed to harmony and balance. Instead of creating an equal give and take, it's been two people who are saying it must be my way or nothing. And then it just leads to this kind of impasse between the both of you. But it feels like something that with this Six of Swords, you're both in this process of kind of moving beyond that mindset, starting to recognize these patterns within self, starting to, with that Eight of Wands, learn some new communication skills, or recognizing that a new way of communicating is necessary. Understanding that the physical component, the passion, the attraction that you have for each other, this chemistry, that is it's a bonding force. It's something which really, it holds you both together. It feeds into the connection in a very positive way. But then in the mental or intellectual realm, or just in the realm of thought, the realm of perception, it's these skewed perceptions and this rigidity almost of both of your ideas about the way that things should go, the direction, how this relationship should progress, or almost the power dynamic in the relationship. That is something which is then creating this period of frustration, or it's creating this wall or this impasse. So this is really speaking again with this Queen of Cups about kind of moving more into that heart space, moving less out of this need to be right, this need to control, and more into this energy of trust, into this energy of unfolding, into, with this Queen of Cups here. And in this particular deck, I'm always, usually the Queen of Cups is defined as, just this abundance and this overflow of love. But for me personally, I'm always drawn to this lidded cup, so almost like the emotions restricted, the emotions restrained, the heart chakra closed off, and the look on her face is just, it doesn't look very happy. It looks kind of angry or determined. So for me, based on the artwork in this deck and similar decks with the same kind of theme, this to me speaks about kind of this closed off, this constriction of the heart space, being very determined not to be emotionally vulnerable, not to let anybody in. There's an element of control that is present here, and that ties in with what was coming up in kind of the general energies between the both of you. A lot of issues with control on both of your parts, wanting to really control the ability at which you are able to be hurt by another as well, by trying to maintain control and kind of stave off pain and disappointment. It is in fact just yielding that same result. That resistance is not leading to a lot of fulfillment, but it's operating as a wedge or a barrier. And so all of this is something which must be transcended before a reconciliation can happen. And I'm going to use the term reconciliation in this sense to indicate kind of breaking out of this frustration cycle. So while you may be coming back together with this person to, have this very intense kind of physical reunion, things are really great, and then you're back into that same pattern of kind of the fights, the arguments, the disagreements, the butting heads energy that kind of pushes you away. To me, that's indicative of a cycle. That is not, reconciliation. That's just kind of circling around in the same patterns. So for the context of this reading, we're going to be looking at reconciliation as kind of the next level, kind of some growth, some evolution, versus just kind of moving back around to that same kind of stage of the cycle that you both have been in. So in that context, it does look that, again, some tools are being acquired, some communication tools, kind of moving on within the headspace of this need to be right, this need to control, just going more with the flow, being open to some guidance that's coming in from others or coming in from your higher self about what is necessary in order to, create some different results, to again move beyond this frustrating cycle. So it looks like there is a possibility for reconciliation, but it definitely is going to come after a period of some kind of intense and very deep and personal recognition of some of these woundings, these childhood woundings or wounds stemming from previous heartbreaks that have really caused this kind of behavior pattern, this almost rigidity, kind of keeping things in sort of these, the very kind of carnal and physical realm, and then sort of in this emotional, almost, just very kind of combative energy, thus avoiding, the vulnerability of the heart space. So that's definitely something which it's being worked on currently. Three of Swords can often speak to me about a heart chakra activation. So it looks like that this is in the works for this person. And this energy feels very mirrored. So all of this can definitely be applying to you as well. It'll be very specific to your situation, but, you're most likely going to be triggered. Some memories are going to come up, or, just some kind of, I'm feeling with this, this person kind of steering this boat here, some kind of divine intervention is going to come in, some kind of epiphany or awareness about some things that you need to work on within yourself. Blame could be a lot of the kind of the wedge between the both of you, neither person wanting to really accept the responsibility for their role in these circumstances. And so this can also be something which is, really needing to be worked on. It's going to be something which is going to be made aware, this need to almost surrender control of the situation, or this desire to control outcomes, moving into this energy of being open to, recognizing and acknowledging that both people have played a role in the difficulties that you both are facing. Both people are participants in this cycle, and that something needs to shift. There needs to be, a better way to communicate with each other, but then also this need is there to really recognize and communicate the pain that you both are feeling within based on your individual circumstances and your history and experiences of the past, and to communicate that out, to get that out, to express that in a healthier way than fights and disagreements and kind of control issues and some rigidity that may have been negatively impacting not just this connection, but this could also be something which again kind of affects other relationships in your life as well. Two people that really need to soften into an energy of collaboration with others, as opposed to always needing to be the one in charge. But with this Page of Wands, this does look very promising. It's just a beginning at this point in time, but it's something to where, as difficult and as painful as these shadows are to acknowledge, that it's something that really leads in a positive direction. This is something which, even for this connection, can really lead to some positive growth. Some long-term potential of moving in the direction of success, breaking out of this cycle, and really exploring some new terrains of what is possible with this person and in love. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to get a little more clarification about this for you. Group 2. Okay, so we have focus, and again, this speaks to something becoming clear, really focusing on the role that each of you have played in the circumstances that you are currently experiencing with this person, and how this almost inflexibility may have really created some strain and tension in your life in general. So needing to focus on, healing these inner child wounds, healing this kind of fear of loss, fear of betrayal that is causing the behavior to want to cling to control, to want to be the one to direct, as opposed to kind of moving in the flow of receptivity. And we have serenity. So this to me is really, it's calling me back to the serenity prayer, which speaks about God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the strength to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this is something both of you are most likely working on at this point in time, this need to surrender, this need to not always need to control everything, to control outcomes, to allow other people to co-create or be participants with you, to understanding that the individuality or the autonomy of others, that it's something which, you're not just, if you don't resonate with that, it's not something which can limit you in any way that you do not allow it. You have the ability to change these circumstances, to change this interaction with this person, to really, break out of this cycle or this pattern, not just in this relationship, but in your life in general. You're both being guided to, again, really digging into that heart space, really opening up, uncorking some of these kind of hidden feelings, lingering heartbreak or disappointment, which is just, it almost feels that it's been this almost like a constriction upon the both of you in your own individual way. It's been something which is almost prodding you in this direction of really needing to have control, needing to really lash out, operate from a very kind of distorted perspective, because that emotional body has been kind of closed down, the lid has been kind of put on that, but you're being both guided and kind of steered into this process of going within. This could even happen through the divine intervention of a heart chakra activation, which is something that occurs quite spontaneously. So if you both have been in this energy of resistance, resisting this change, the frustration of kind of going round and round in these cycles, it may seem that nothing is changing, but there in fact is momentum that is building to where something is going to burst, something is going to give. Change must happen, and that most likely will be through an act of divine intervention, which also kind of is there with the on the judgment card in this, Archangel Gabriel and blowing his trumpet, where it's something that, whether you like it or not, the time for change is here, that it is unsustainable to continue on in this pattern with this person and in your life in general, that the time of evolution is here, that there's a better way of being in the world. There's a new possibility out there. There's something more that you are capable of feeling and experiencing. And change can be definitely difficult. It can be something that's very natural to resist. And, this is a situation where then the divine must step in. Something must really kind of burst forth from the inside out and, just kind of compelling you to surrender, to open up to those emotions, to really address those things, that they can no longer just be stuffed down and kind of this energy of almost projection and control, that's not very sustainable. So this is really speaking that ultimately this is for the benefit of the both of you. It leads to very serene and peaceful times, an inner peace within yourselves, which then can also kind of ripple out into more peace in the dynamic between the both of you. So I'm going to get a few more oracle cards for you, group 2. Okay, so we have flexible, and this really is speaking with this energy of needing to relinquish control, moving into more of this space of being able to, allow others the space to really have their voice heard. Being more willing to work with this person in terms of maybe responding versus reacting, if fights and disagreements and two very headstrong individuals have been kind of what has been at odds between the both of you, that you're moving into this period of time of being, comfortable with yourself to allow this person to express themselves, to express their needs, their desires, their wants, and to not feel that by this person doing that, or this person taking control of maybe some direction of the relationship, that you will lose yourself to the relationship, that you'll be swept away by the relationship. It's moving more into this space of trust, kind of moving out of this energy of being a little closed off emotionally, or very guarded to love, and being very open to kind of expanding your experiences in love, expanding how you show up in love and relationships. And we also have serendipity. So with all that green, and that's speaking to me about, again, this kind of heart chakra activation that is going to be taking place within you or within this person, that is really going to lead to, it's going to be a very happy occurrence. It's going to come very spontaneously, serendipity, and that ties in with kind of this divine intervention, divinely guided and orchestrated. So there are larger forces at play behind the scenes. A lot of passion and love here. This is definitely a connection that is, it's worth doing the work necessary in order to evolve to the next stage within yourselves. You both have really triggered each other into this point of healing, into this point of surrender, needing to address some of these wounds within yourself that are causing this behavior. It's not that any of you are bad people or flawed people. It's that you're operating from a space of wounding. And this is almost like the divine saying, you've been carrying these wounds around for long enough. You've been projecting your wounds out into the world for long enough. These cycles, this frustration of not, of feeling this need to kind of control, and this need to even with these fights and arguments, to kind of push away intimacy, almost this energy of breaking up with someone before they can break up with you, or needing to have things your way, control things, because you don't really want to let anybody in. And so it's a matter of trying to keep the outside circumstances in a very neat and tight package. That the period of doing that, the tension of doing that, it's something that's not sustainable any longer. This is a gift of relief. This may be kind of a painful or awkward process to go through, but on the other side of that it's all this tranquility and serenity, and it's something which ultimately you will be able to look back on this experience with this person, and the events which unfolded, almost this divine intervention, as really to the benefit of both of you. And it opens up the possibility then further down the road for the two of you to come back together in a more elevated fashion, and with the potential for some long-term success within the connection that might not have been possible up to this point. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you, group 2. Okay, and we have, I never meant to hurt you. So this can definitely speak to any kind of harsh words, fights, disagreements, any kind of issues with control or rigidity that have occurred historically in the past of this relationship. This person, feels a lot of regret for that. They feel very haunted by their actions, by the words that were spoken, by the way in which they showed up in this relationship. It's something where, they're thinking about the love they have for you, this bond, this attraction. And it's something that, they may be being very hard on themselves right now for having self-sabotaged, or, just really kind of faulting themselves for not being more yielding to this relationship, not more yielding to compromise in this relationship. And so this is something which is kind of, this energy of regret, which, ties in with that frustration in this cycle. It's something that, they are definitely at this point of needing to evolve into some better communication skills, needing to kind of heal some of that wounding within themselves so that they can show up better in the relationship going forward. So they can show up not operating out of their shadow, but more out of their light, able to really, express in a healthy and constructive manner when they are feeling triggered, when they are feeling vulnerable, as opposed to really lashing out. And this is something I feel that goes very much vice versa, that these wounds that this person has are also mirroring some wounds within yourself, that during this period of separation, you're being gifted this time to really address these things and work on these things within you. And we have within a few months. So some of you may see some progress, some evolution within this connection within the next few months. This can indicate, a time period almost for that heart chakra activation, or when the results of that will start to be seen. You may energetically feel a lightening of the energy between the both of you. Or if you come back around into contact with this person within the next few months, there could be a marked change between what you have experienced with them previously. More of an energy of compromise, of communication, where there may have just been, kind of some harsh and blunt things that were said. And they also say, I carry guilt over what happened. So more of that energy of being very haunted by their actions, by their words. This person has a lot of love for you, a lot of caring for you. And it's something where, again, this energy of the wounding that they have been operating from, and you as well, that you have been operating from as well, that the heartbreak and the pain with that Three of Swords that kind of causes one another. It's something that it's not just out of sight, out of mind. It's something I feel that's very, there's a lot of regret on both people's parts here about what was said or done in the past. And that this, the heaviness of that, the density of that, it's almost something which is, it's almost like this heat and pressure, which is necessary to kind of crystallize into something, lighter and more radiant and more resilient. Something of more value than what, in terms of the communication and the experiences that you've had together, than what you have experienced up to this point. And we also have spiritual contracts attracting your soul family. So this can really speak to, this person being a perfect mirror for you, and you being a mirror for this person. In terms of some wounding. The triggering is not just because, you're both meant to irritate each other and cause each other, pain and disharmony. That kind of the purpose of really almost this twin flame dynamic of this intense love and this intense triggering. You both have been brought into each other's lives, and you have incarnated in this lifetime and in this way, and your interactions are thus, so that you can almost force one another through this pain and this frustration and discomfort to go deeply within, to, like with the Serenity prayer and this Serenity card, to find the strength to change the things which you can. And the things which you can change are the things within yourself. We can't change or control what other people are going to do, the work that they choose to do on themselves or don't choose to do. What we do have control over is how we are showing up. The things that we are choosing to address and work through within ourselves. And so this is really, again, confirming that there's a larger kind of purpose to this relationship than just kind of pain and misery, that this relationship is really, the purpose of it is healing for both of you as individuals. And if you choose to, kind of answer that call to go within, to heal yourselves, to kind of heal some of these woundings, to really look within and get to know yourself on a deep and intimate level, to learn some new ways of showing up, some new coping mechanisms, some new strategies, so you can show up in the world as more of an authentic person who is operating from kind of a balanced space within yourself, honoring both your light and shadow aspects, honoring this passion and this, this confidence within yourself, but also understanding the need to kind of, temper that down at times and allow others the opportunity to have their voice heard, that it's not, it doesn't need to be my way or the highway, but it's definitely, moving more into this energy of reciprocity in all aspects of your life. That this relationship, this experience with this person has really served as kind of the template or the impetus of that change to occur within the both of you. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now about this connection for you, group 2. All right, and we have spiritual understanding, Archangel Raziel. I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. So this is really speaking about that divine intervention, this kind of this assistance from on high, that the way that you both have been operating in the world and in this relationship up to this point in time, that, the time for change is now. There's a larger purpose to this. This relationship serves a larger purpose in terms of the evolution of both of your souls, that it goes beyond just the harmony and contentment of the 3D connection between the both of you. There's a powerful energetic bond here, and the journey that you're both being led on, it will help you to gain greater self-awareness, greater understanding of love and of relationships in general. So this definitely, with this, reference to spirituality, it confirms that this is definitely a high level spiritual connection you have with this person, twin flame or soulmate. There's again a purpose here to, trigger each other into wounding so that your healing can then be a gift to others around you. It can be a gift to the world, energetically speaking. There's a larger purpose at play here for what you are experiencing. And this again confirms kind of the hand of the divine. Some really big and exciting changes that with the Page of Wands will lead to some really good and positive things for you individually and within the connection going forward. And let me get a romance angel for you, group 2. Okay, and we have pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So this is really speaking to, again, the things that are being kind of triggered within you, the things that you are recognizing in this person that need to change. These are kind of mirrors for you about some things you may need to explore within yourself. So a red flag could be a tendency to project blame, to, again, kind of want to hold firm control, want to, be able to determine and dictate what happens going forward, that, you're being cautioned to kind of release or relinquish some of that control, to move into this this space of going with the flow, this space of receptivity, this space of, even the red flag of staying very closed off and kind of avoiding some of these wounds within yourself, that those wounds will only compound with time. It just, that intensity and the ferocity of that will just kind of build, that at some point in time, and particularly with this divine intervention, you're being gifted this opportunity to kind of release that pressure valve, to, address some things, to let go of some baggage. You've been carrying these wounds around for long enough. So some red flags may be anywhere that you're very resistant to change, recognizing that within yourself, anything that's deeply triggering to you, particularly this relationship to this person. Avoiding the tendency to project blame, and to really feel that, this need to be right, or feel that you are right, that you're being guided to kind of take a deeper perspective, kind of dig beneath the surface, find the root, say what is the feeling truly attached to this. If you're feeling anger, what is the root of fear that projection of anger is attached to? How can you do some work on that root of fear within yourself in order to kind of quell that anger that you're feeling, as an example? And so it's something where, again, the triggers in this situation, the triggers in this connection are in fact the gift to you, to really hold a mirror up to yourself, and some deep and beautiful healing that is possible, and that the time is now for you to really engage in, really embark upon, because you're in a period of evolution, evolving beyond kind of kind of a previous mindset or way of showing up. And with that work, then you are able to really magnetize in an experience some kind of lighter and more uplifting, some joyous energy, like with the sun here. Joyous experiences and more joy in this connection with this person in the future. So in terms of, to summarize that with the potential for reconciliation with this person, it does look, you both are engaged in some deep healing work at this time, so it doesn't look like reconciliation is very immediate, but it is something that as you both continue along this path, you know, you get closer to that result in the 3D, but it definitely feels overwhelmingly, it's important to emphasize here that reconciliation is merely a 3D concept, especially in this this dynamic, because at the soul level, you both are, you know, you're bonded, you're entwined with each other. You're really helping each other through this, kind of triggering and nurturing each other through this process of evolution. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. Okay, so we have R, S, V, N, A, F, T, X, and Y. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the pink Tourmaline. So I'm going to start off by taking a look at the current energies between you and this person, get some clues about who they are to you. Group 3. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Ace of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Page of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Two of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Seven of Pentacles, so more earth energy. Queen of Wands, so more fire energy. And the Queen of Pentacles, more earth energy. So this is somebody that, despite a lot of heartbreak, maybe a lot of chances, a lot of second chances or third chances that you have given this person, there's still this desire to build, to grow with them. This could be somebody that you consider as a soulmate or a twin flame, where despite what has happened, this feeling of loss, this feeling of emptiness, that you still see a lot of long-term potential with this person. This feels like somebody that you perceive to be the one for you, somebody that you can really imagine having a very happy and productive life with. There's a lot of attraction here, and also a lot of compatibility in the material sense, a lot of shared goals, dreams, values, similarities in terms of your lifestyle, your habits, maybe some similarities. This could be somebody that you work with, or somebody that you're in a similar field with, somebody that you're very compatible with, your work times or styles or workspace, maybe your finances, you're very compatible with each other. You're both very strong and independent people as well. People that you're self-assured, you're confident, you're able to take care of yourself. There's a lot of stability in both of your lives. This could be somebody that with the Seven of Pentacles, you've been waiting for things to change and shift in this circumstance for quite a while. With the Page of Pentacles, there's this energy of watching and wanting to make an offer in the material world, wanting to create some kind of substantial change, to make even a declaration to this person that you consider them a soulmate or a twin flame, to make that really known, to provide more than just loving words, but loving actions with this person. This could have also been somebody that, in the past, after coming out of a period of intense heartbreak, where you were maybe really closed off to love, this person just sort of came into your awareness and really sparked a fire within you, really, relit a flame of hope and of possibility for you, that love was possible, or that something different than what you have experienced previously in love, that, this is a relationship that would kind of undo all of that pain, that would kind of move you in another direction, or kind of reinstill your confidence in love, would kind of make sense to you why relationships with others had not worked out in the past. This can be somebody that, has had a lot of wisdom that they have given you. This is somebody you respect. somebody that you really respect their opinion, and even a period of separation or no contact that you find yourself in. It's something that you're really respecting, that this need for space. You're operating out of this sense of hope that the seeds that were planted between the both of you in the past, the seeds of goodwill and of harmony and the good times you shared, that these will in time blossom into the possibility of renewal between the both of you. This is definitely a relationship where you don't feel that you've wasted your time with, despite what has happened, but that, you know, some really great things have been accomplished within this. Within the parameters of this connection. This could really be something that has kind of given you sort of a renewed zest for life. It has helped you to really get on your path into your purpose. This is something where, you know, based on kind of the separation and the no contact, you really have sort of redirected that focus within, focus on, you know, cultivating your own abundance, your own self-assuredness, your own self-knowledge. So this has not been time that has been in vain, that there has been a lot of very, you know, kind of concrete and beautiful developments within yourself after having met this person, and even going through the heartbreak of the loss of the separation with them. It's something where you really have kind of turned the page for yourself. You really have started pouring into your own cup. You've really started to focus on self-love. And again, the work that you've done, these seeds that were planted in terms of moving beyond that heartbreak, understanding that heartbreak, or learning to live with that heartbreak, it's something that has really it's really had some tangible results. It's really borne some fruit in your life. You may have gone through some kind of a transformation or a glow up. You've worked actively to raise your vibration based on what you have experienced with this person, and through that experience, recognizing the need to do that in general for yourself, and this work that you have done, the healing work, or, you know, the work to kind of refocus your attentions on things that you can control, like in the material world, things that bring you a sense of joy and of abundance, that this is really starting to pay off. You're looking better, you're feeling better, you're starting to, you know, attract in some relationships with people, platonic or even romantic, that are, you know, really recognizing you and appreciating you for who you are, what you have to give, and what you know, have accomplished in your life. You're starting to experience some abundance within your career, within finances, and this could really have taken kind of the center stage. But at the same time, as much as you've really been focusing on self, really improving your circumstances and how you feel about yourself, there is still this love for this person, this feeling of connectedness to this person. Almost this wish that there could be another chance with them. Despite how many chances may have happened in the past, this love persists, it endures. And it could be something, I'm feeling with this Ace of Wands and Page of Pentacles, that, you know, the ember of hope, it might just be that, an ember at this point in time. But it's something that, as much as you've moved on in your life, you've always kind of kept the door open for this person. There's definitely a feeling of, you know, what could happen, what if. You're very open to that possibility, open to experiencing something different from them than what you have up to this point in time. And it's something to where, you know, you're kind of looking back on the experience with them and the heartbreak with them with a sense of gratitude for kind of the journey into self that it has propelled you on. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to get a little more clarification about this for you. Group 3. Okay, and we have self-respect. So this is speaking about, you know, this journey of self-love, focusing on the self, where you may have really been projecting out hope or a sense of waiting on this person or this connection, that you're instead shifting that to really working on how you feel about yourself, working on things that make you feel stable and abundant. Cultivating a sense of self-respect, taking your power back from this situation or even other situations in your life where you may have really compromised, you know, your values, or even kind of settled for less than you deserved. Maybe with this energy of, you know, giving somebody multiple chances, that this love you have for this person, it made you willing to overlook perhaps a lack of concrete change that may have occurred in the past in this connection, but that you have really shifted that. You've shifted that focus to establishing some better boundaries, some firm boundaries for yourself. This is definitely the journey that you've been on, and the changes which are occurring for you. It's really making you love and admire and respect yourself in a way you may not have been aware of before. And we have accomplishment. So this again speaks to, this investment in self, really pouring into, your own cup, and the work that you've been doing on yourself to heal from this situation, keeping that kind of ember of hope alive, but really kind of redirecting your force and focus on yourself. You're experiencing a lot of accomplishments, a lot of accolades. Your transformation, your glow up is really being recognized by others. Even this person, it feels like this person is definitely watching you from afar. With this Page of Pentacles, to me, this is the energy of watching, and with that pentacle, that's earth energy. So this goes beyond just an element of daydreaming, that this person may be seeing you in your environment. Again, they could be somebody you work with, somebody that is maybe has seen you out and about, is seeing you on social media, is witnessing, is kind of following along with this transformation, this metamorphosis that has taken place, where you kind of you've redirected your focus from the heartbreak, the sense of loss, those kind of, those swords, those painful thoughts about the heartbreak with this person, and you really have instead kind of shifted that to ignite with that Ace of Wands, this renewed zest for life, this renewed hope of possibility, a recognition of a need to, change some things within yourself, or to make yourself a priority, to heal yourself, to help yourself evolve beyond this circumstance. And this person, again, has, had some ability to really witness this, to watch this transformation. And it's something which is, it's creating within them this, this feeling of happiness for you. They're very happy for what you have accomplished, for who you have become, despite what you have been through, both with this person and with other things in your life. I feel that this is, kind of a multi-layered journey that you have been on. So this is someone, again, who's very proud of you, very proud of the person you have become and who you continue to evolve into. And it's also something where, they're starting to see you from a new light. They're seeing you from a new level. It's giving them a lot of respect for who you are. And this is also something which is really, it's inviting them to kind of engage on their own journey into self, into healing and evolving past any kind of self-limiting beliefs or kind of baggage from the past that may have been holding them down. Okay, and we have uncomfortable. So this really speaks to, an uncomfortable silence maybe between the both of you that could be here. And I feel that discomfort is really predicated on the sense of this person being able to see you and witness you, and this, maybe because you work with them, they're in your environment or in some way that they're watching you, and it's making them very uncomfortable that, they're kind of on the outside of your life looking in, that they can't play a more active role. It's starting to make them uncomfortable the more that they are seeing these changes within you, and they're recognizing some of the ways they may have taken you for granted, or kind of overlooked you, or just not shown up in the best manner in the connection in the past. Maybe only with this, Two of Cups, and this man's kind of reaching for this cup. This could have been something where there wasn't a lot of reciprocity happening in this relationship in the past. It was very, one way, kind of one person feeding into the connection and the other person giving very little in return. So get a few more of these for you, group 3. Okay, and we have walking away. So again, this can speak to this redirection of the energy of your focus away from this connection, away from this person, away from an energy of waiting, and you instead have embarked on really pouring that love into yourself, filling your own cup, and working on your own stability and abundance. And we also have manipulation. So this can speak to, some energies of deception of the past, which led to, the heartbreak. And I also feel that this is tying into anywhere that you may have been kind of operating from a space of wishful thinking, that somehow magically this person would kind of come back around to you, and that it kept you in this sort of holding pattern of wanting and waiting, that you're moving out of that that aspect of self into more of a grounded stance of really focusing on what you can control, working on you for the benefit of you, not from a place of, seeking to improve on yourself or really present to this person any kind of an image or a package of maybe desirability on your part, or trying to prove to them what it is that they missed out on or what they lost, that you may have been perhaps doing some of that in the past, really trying to in some way, in some form of spectacle or declaration, to kind of get this person's attention, try to make them see something that they were unable or unwilling to see in the past. But this is speaking about, again, shifting out of that, redirecting that focus with very pure intentions, working on you for you, not for, and out of a place of self-respect, not out of a need for validation from others or from this person, but just really seeking to cultivate that which makes you feel good. Understanding that part of the law of attraction is, believing that you are worthy and deserving, and operating from that mindset of, that what you want is already en route to you. It's already yours. It's just a matter of, kind of the pieces lining up and that unfolding for you in perfect timing. And when you kind of have shifted into that, instead of trying to control outcomes, but just with this acceptance and understanding that the love you are seeking in the form of this person or another more suitable candidate will come to you when the time is right. And kind of that shift within yourself, it has definitely created an energetic ripple that this person is aware of. They are recognizing this in the material world, or they have felt this ripple, and it feels like it has instigated something within this person to want to seek you out. Maybe they're looking you up or observing you at this point in time. Kind of this energy of almost a renewed interest and witnessing the evolution and the ascension which has taken place with you, both within and in your material circumstances. So I'm going to take a look now at the possibility of reconciliation for this person, group 3. What's that look like? Okay, so we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus. Ace of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. 5 of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. 3 of Swords, air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. 5 of Swords, so more air energy. Knight of Pentacles, so more of that earth energy. And the 4 of Swords, so more air energy. So this is really speaking to me about a lot of thought going into this connection, into the possibility of reconciliation. This is something where, the feeling of loss, almost with this 5 of Pentacles, this person really feeling that they are now on the outside of your life looking in. They're acutely feeling this sense of loss. They're feeling very defeated by this stance, by this position that they have in your life. There is this desire for closeness, to somehow reincorporate themselves into your life through a period of reflection, of rest, of kind of quiet and inaction in this connection. There seems to be this kind of shift which takes place. It's a gradual movement that this person makes towards you with this Knight of Pentacles here. It's something where, you know, they want to come in, but they want to come in with a solid offer, to come in correctly. They may be recognizing through your evolution some steps that they need to take within themselves to become more solid, to become more grounded, to step more into their authenticity. And there could also be some circumstances in their material world which they need to let go of, to move away from, any kind of heartbreaks that they've been holding on to from the past, from past relationships, or any ideas about love, perceptions about love with the Hierophant, any kind of maybe religious or cultural views that could have in the past really operated as a wedge between the both of you, or had really shaped their perceptions on love and partnership. And so there's this process of kind of evaluating these things, moving away from that which doesn't resonate or doesn't serve their end goal, what they want for themselves, and making slow and steady progress toward sort of gathering up the most authentic parts of themselves, so that an offer of love with this Ace of Cups can be delivered in a way that is something of value, something of substance, something of worth. This Ace of Cups can also speak to, you know, this outpouring of love, this declaration of love, these heart-to-heart conversations that this person is wanting to have, recognizing as well with the Hierophant the deeply spiritual aspect of this connection, recognizing or acknowledging you as a soulmate, as a twin flame. Some kind of heart chakra activation may also be taking place within this person, that is really bringing their perception around to the potential of what exists with you, what they had with you in the past. And again, this desire to move back in that direction, anywhere that they may have been kind of closed off to love, to the ideas of relationships, or this relationship, this connection specifically. It feels that this person is really moving into this energy of, again, kind of removing those swords, sort of shifting their thoughts, shifting their mindset, some belief or even a decision that had been made in the past not to pursue this connection. That what they're witnessing about you is they're seeing you with more clarity, and they're seeing you kind of step into this fullness and this abundance of who you are authentically, having done this healing work for yourself first and foremost, and witnessing the ways in which your life is transforming in magnificent ways, in which your energy is even, you know, becoming clear and very unencumbered. The things, you know, setbacks and limitations and disappointments of the past, that these things are no longer holding you back, but you're instead, you know, charging forth through that. You're making slow and steady progress in your own right, in your own life, to kind of transcend some obstacles. And this is very inspirational to this person, that healing and hope are possible for them. With the Three of Swords appearing in both the current energies and the potential for reconciliation, you know, it's a lot of the wounds of the past, things that might not have gone so well in the connection with you in the past, but also some kind of hesitancy or fear about love based on past disappointments that might have kept this person in kind of a closed off stance, choosing not to pursue this connection, or really, you know, rejecting this connection in the past. This is something which, you know, they're in this process of working on. It's something which, you know, that needs to be resolved, that needs to be settled. There needs to be almost a walking away, kind of with this Five of Swords, you know, gaining some wisdom out of some experiences of the past, leaving some of the painful memories or some of those feelings of defeat behind. This is an energy of kind of closing out some cycles, kind of even some conflict within themselves, almost like a battle between the head and the heart. And moving more into this space of taking both of these things into account, as opposed to, you know, maybe just looking at more of the surface level or kind of the superficial aspects of the dynamic or the potential there, but feeling more into that heart space, trusting in themselves, and learning to trust in love again. So it feels like a very gradual progression, but it is a progression in the right direction, where you know, there is discomfort with that, kind of like with this uncomfortable card. It's, you know, they're not liking the place that they have in your life currently. They're inspired by you, inspired to change, and inspired to create some movement in the direction of possibility, that you both can have a fresh start. So I'm going to get some oracle cards for you now to get a little more clarification about this for you, group 3. Possibility of reconciliation with this person. All right, and we have freedom. So this really speaks about freeing oneself from the heartbreaks and loss of the past. This can also speak to a liberation from a period of silence, of no contact, of separation that you both have been in. This speaks to freeing oneself from the limitations and perceptions about what love should look like. Freeing themselves from anywhere that they were kind of deceptive about their feelings for you, their intentions and hopes about this connection. And we also have ideas and inspiration. So again, that energy of being very inspired by the changes that they are seeing in you. I feel in some way with that Page of Pentacles, this person is able to actively watch you at this point in time. They are some way in your environment or have inserted themselves into your environment. This could even be the energy of, observing you online, looking you up online, seeing what you've been up to, really, investigating that, actively watching you and following along with that progress. And it's given them some ideas. It's sparked some inspiration within themselves that change is possible. Some things maybe even of a spiritual nature, your spiritual journey, if you in some way catalog that or make that known in a public forum. This is something that they are learning a lot from that. They're seeing the ways, maybe what they know of you from the past and some obstacles or things that you'd been through in the past, and they're seeing how you've healed through that, how you've transcended through these obstacles, and the subject matter that you're talking about or any kind of methods that you're discussing for how you embarked upon that healing work and have achieved such success up to this point in that endeavor. It's something which is really, it's making them hopeful for change. It's making them recognize that freedom from kind of the wounds and the baggage that they've been carrying around, that is possible. It's something where they may have been kind of avoiding that, fearful of that, closed off to that in the past, but they're moving more into an energy of hope and possibility that something different from the current experience and feeling for them is possible. So let me get some more oracle cards for you, group 3, and see potential for reconciliation for this person. Or with this person, rather. Okay, so we have Observer. So that again is that Page of Pentacles, and with that ideas and inspirations, this person is actively watching you, feeling into you energetically, observing the shift in your energy. And it's something that they're starting to see a way forward out of their own limitations, out of their own perceptions of limitation, out of their own darkness, or the way in which they were kind of holding themselves back from this connection and from love in general. They're seeing you with a new perspective, and even this desire that they are having to somehow kind of transcend the wedges or the obstacles or the blockages between the both of you. They're starting to see a path forward. They're observing a way to kind of shift circumstances, to free themselves from these limitations between you, to kind of come in from out in the cold. And we also have deep knowing. So this can speak to the spiritual aspects that are being activated within this person, a heart chakra activation that is taking place, this deep knowing of, the soulmate bond between you, this deep knowing that they have, that they are coming into, that you are somebody that they would like to partner with. You are happiness for them. On this card here, we have the planets of Venus and Mars. So this definitely speaks to counterpart energy. Mars being kind of this archetype of the divine masculine, and Venus being that archetype of the divine feminine. And, with this owl here of wisdom, this kind of knowledge that, you both are, you're very suitable, you're very compatible for each other. You both really complement each other. This can also speak to a balancing of these energies and these polarities, kind of a process that you have been engaged in within yourself, balancing the masculine and feminine within yourself, and that it's inspiring this person, it's giving this person, the ideas, the wisdom to make those changes in their own life as well, to, kind of get on this trajectory to experience experiencing this this abundance and authenticity, both of self and in the things in their material world. And this can also be a confirmation of this reconciliation, this coming together, this union of the masculine and the feminine, if you resonate as a twin flame, and this energy of kind of counterparts, of kind of perfect and polar opposites, this coming back together. So very positive here in terms of the potential for reconciliation with this person. Movement is taking place at kind of this kind of a slow and steady progress, but in a very grounded and very very worthwhile manner. That kind of the time that it is taking for this to unfold, it's not for somebody hesitating or kind of dilly-dallying. It's that there's actual concrete progress of substance that is happening with each step they take. It's a very solid foundation. It's on firm footing. This is somebody who is, moving into this space and becoming more and more dedicated to this path of kind of self-awareness, of ascension, maybe even a spiritual path, a spiritual journey. And so the unfolding that is happening from that, the steps that are being taken, it's something that, can have some very rich and solid rewards, some very lasting potential. The work that's being done, it will have some very beneficial and long-term effects on kind of the success of this connection in general, and the success of this person as an individual going forward in their life and in time. So I'm going to get some higher self messages from this person now for you, group 3. What do they want to say? All right, and they say a healing is on its way, trust. So this is a confirmation of that reconciliation energy, and this feels like this Knight of Pentacles, kind of like this slow and steady progress. They're letting you know that they're on their way to you. They're making their way to you, and the journey of that, it starts from within. So from the inside out, they are taking steps in your direction and toward a reunion, a reconciliation, or even, opening up to this connection perhaps for the first time. And they also say time for rest, self-care, rejuvenation, and retreat. So that is that energy completely of the Four of Swords here, of this, this kind of rest, this calm, this going within. And this really speaks to, again, this journey to union that begins first on the inside. So this person is in this process of really, discovering who they are, kind of letting go of some things, doing some deep kind of shadow work and purging. And in that sort of work and in that process, part of the reason that is so gradual is it's such heavy and intense work on the soul level, on the emotional level, that it's something that can only be really done in layers. It can only really be taken in doses. There are certain things that need to be uncovered and need to be discarded, and then there needs to be time for that to really acclimate, to really have an effect on all the layers of the etheric bodies, to really kind of become accustomed to that newness, to employ some of those new strategies or new mindsets out into the material world. And then the next leg of that journey is made available, or comes into awareness that it's not something that it cannot be a constant progress or a work toward that. It's almost like the energy of putting in this effort and then just kind of allowing those effects to kind of manifest and materialize and really digest, and then making taking the next step and the next step. And so it's kind of like this gradual and in chunks progress that this person is making. And so they may have come to this point, or are coming to this point of this deep realization, maybe heart chakra activation, some work and awareness and steps that have been taken. And then they could be then in this period of needing to just kind of rest and reflect and feel that out, and experience how that is, operate from that new level of awareness for a while in their circumstances before the next kind of bend in that road becomes apparent to them. And they also say all signs point to you. So this speaks to that inspiration, being divinely guided in your direction, getting some signs as well about the soulmate aspect between the both of you, this counterpart energy, looking to you for inspiration, getting these nudges and this resonance that something that you have uncovered in your own life, a process that you have, that you are undergoing, or a route or a road, a healing journey that you have embarked upon. As they are witnessing this, it's really inspiring them that this is a path that is for them too. This is a road to, a feeling of liberation within themselves, that there is a different way of being that is possible, contrary to how they may have been operating before, of just kind of carrying this pain around with them. Kind of just like every disappointment serving as almost like, a new rock in this backpack that they are kind of carrying with them. And it's just, the load has gotten heavier and heavier over time. It's kind of dimmed and diminished their enjoyment of life. It's kind of compromised their ability to want to take chances in love, or open themselves up to pain in the past, and that the journey you have gone on to kind of put down these burdens within yourself to kind of loosen, let up on the load that you are carrying forth. Coming to terms with some things that have kind of reached their expiration date in terms of the pain that you're just kind of carrying forward with you. These painful memories, or even a mindset or a narrative that you've been telling yourself. And as you've kind of been rewriting your own story and sort of transcending some of these disappointments and barriers within yourself, this person is also seeing that is possible, that on the other side of that work, that there is so much abundance to be had. And so it's something where, they are in this process of really following the trail that you have blazed, even energetically, in the direction of a much higher vibration than they were operating in the last time you were dealing with them. And they also say we connect in the astral. So they could definitely be dreaming about you a lot. You're dreaming about them a lot. There's a lot of healing that is taking place as they are, actively and in the 3D, inspired by you and watching you. Your souls are also connecting. It is this connection at the soul level which has really kind of nudged them or clued them in to maybe checking in with you again at this particular point in time. And as they have done this, this was the time that they were supposed to come into this new awareness, to really see something, to witness something, checking back in with you at the point when you have achieved all this growth and all this, really stepped into your authenticity and really captured and capitalized on the potential that has always been within you. And so from the soul level, they are, being guided to kind of follow along in this progress, to answer that call, to accept that invitation that their soul is giving them, to really embark upon a similar path, a similar trajectory toward healing themselves and kind of transcending beyond self-imposed or externally imposed obstacles that they have been kind of carrying around and allowing to limit their experiences for far too long. And I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now about this connection for you, Group 3. Okay, and we have claircognizance, Archangel Uriel. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. And this really speaks to, again, this idea and inspiration and this connection in the astral, that at the soul level, you're both guiding and supporting each other through this journey, kind of on this journey up the mountain of challenges to kind of reach this pinnacle, this peak of, this wider perspective of what's possible. And it feels like this is definitely, instead of just like a singular kind of obstacle or challenge, just one mountain, this is almost like a mountain range that's kind of not pictured in this image. And so some work is being done with that Knight of Pentacles to kind of overcome some of these limitations. And then that ties in with this, this Four of Swords, this period of rest and just really, observing from this new vantage point. all that was accomplished, all that there is now to see, some new horizons that are possible before, that next journey is taken, to scale that next peak, to get to that next level of awareness and experience. And so this is something where, this, you're really being guided to trust in this knowing that, evidence of that reconciliation, it may just be energetic at this point in time, but to really trust in that knowing within yourself, the knowing and the assuredness you have of this deep soul connection, that this person is your twin flame, that they are your soulmate, that you're doing this work together. You're both, inspiring each other and really helping each other, trusting that the shifts you have made within yourself are energetically, vibrationally felt and acknowledged by this person. And that it is kind of rippling out into them. It's inspiring them to really answer that call within themselves, to trust that the divine has a hand in this, in the form of like some heart chakra activations that are happening, the spiritual aspects of this connection becoming apparent to this person, or some kind of dreams or inspirations that they are getting, some clarity that is coming to them, and again, just this guidance to continue along this path, continue doing this work on yourself, for yourself, continue taking back your power from situations where you may have given that away, or where it was taken from you in the past, and doing this work on yourself, not with the intention of again creating desirability for this person, or with the intention of getting them to come back to you, but really working on yourself for yourself, and then the energetic ripple that has, it can definitely affect this connection, or it's something everybody has the free will choice to do this work, to go. Some people choose to only go so far with this work and then just kind of stay at a level of stasis, but you're being guided that as you continue to progress, as you continue to evolve, the universe will meet you. It will meet you either in the form of this person having done this work on themselves as well, or you'll be rewarded with another soulmate, another deeply resonant soul connection that is able to respond and appreciate to this vibration that you have cultivated within yourself. So I'm going to get a Romance Angels for you now, group 3. Okay, and we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So that's a beautiful message to summarize this reading for with you, group 3. And again, just this emphasis to focus on yourself, doing this work on yourself, for yourself. That by continuing to do this, you are creating the energetic ripples of change for this person to continue to progress along that journey of self-awareness, move closer toward reconciliation between the both of you. And this coming together of both the masculine and feminine polarities within self for each of you as individuals. And when that work has been accomplished, although that work is never done, I feel that it's always a process of kind of evaluating, checking in with self, and identifying and kind of transcending barriers that kind of creep up or kind of surface or even resurface, that it's a constant evolution which takes place, but when two people are actively engaged in that work, then it creates the stage for a very harmonious coming together in a balanced and reciprocal way in a romantic capacity, and so by doing that work on yourself, it's not just to accomplish this sense of authenticity and abundance within yourself, but it's something which you will then be able to magnetize in a partner, either the form of this person or somebody else who is a vibrational match for you, who has committed to doing that work on themselves, committing to really seeking this kind of perpetual balance between the light and the shadow, this life of self-examination, this life of wanting to kind of work beyond the limitations of self, this life of progressing toward that, that end goal, knowing that it is kind of an eternal progress. It is always a work in progress. The work is never done. It just kind of comes in chunks and in doses. But it's something that with each level and with each layer of transcendence, the gifts and the blessings with that increase and are exponential. And so by doing this work on yourself, you are really you're doing your part. You're putting in the work on your end to really help to create some shifts and some transformations for this person. It's, almost sending out this energetic invitation to this person, which they have the free will ability to choose to do this work for a certain duration or, for a continued duration to hopefully magnetize the both of you toward reconciliation in the future. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, we have G, B, W, P, D, H, Q, L, Z, and I. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.